Okie dokie. So we're gonna go ahead and hop into this. This is the DLC for Quiver. I think it's gonna be fun, honestly. So I've been enjoying this game. And again, I'm definitely gonna try to get Bella to play all this. What you are about to witness cannot be unseen. It cannot be unread. If you continue, do so at your own risk, as I'm absolutely positive there is a better use of your time doing pretty much anything else. Well, maybe, but I don't know about you guys. I like this game. I'm sorry. Okay, so, I tried. Oh, you meant the game. Yes, the game is absolutely warning us, and I'm kind of excited about it, but at the same time, that's hilarious. So, I'm just now noticing the way that I've got this set up, just a heads up, some of it's probably gonna get hidden behind my avatar. I will try to avoid that as much as I can, but this particular game didn't want to capture the same way as a normal game does, so I had to do it this way. Okie dokie. Onward and forward! Oh, I love the music, it just sounds so childish. If you do choose to stick around, then please enjoy this terrible tale for terrible parents to read to their equally terrible children. If you just so happen to be a terrible parent, you may enjoy reading this terrible tale to your terrible children. If you are not a terrible parent, then you probably shouldn't be here, as I'm sure you will not enjoy this terrible tale. I'm a terrible person, I'm just not a terrible parent. If, however, you are a terrible parent, but your kids are not terrible children, then perhaps you should look elsewhere, as this terrible tale is better suited for appropriately terrible children. If you have terrible children, but are not a terrible parent, then you're probably on your way out of here at this point. However, let's be honest. If your children are terrible, then you're probably a terrible parent, and it's probably all your fault. This game is too real. Which means that this tale is, in fact, for you. Get ready for Quiver's terrible tale for terrible parents to read to their equally terrible children. god! They have voices! Guys, they have voices! Huh! Hey, Grandpa, can you read us a bedtime story? Yeah, Grandpa, maybe a motivational story. Yeah, a motivational story that's super positive and shit. Or a story about an underdog that ends up beating the odds and winning some big competition or something. Or a story about how you got that arrow lodged in your dick, Grandpa. Oh my god. Well, that might be a story for another day, Andrew. Oh wow, they look different. I need to get used to this. Perhaps I can tell a different tale for you children. Perhaps a terrible tale. A terrible tale, Grandpa? Oh, she just looks so horrified. What makes the tale so terrible, Grandpa? Stupidity. Lots of it. It sounds like the perfect tale for a stupid McStupid Pants, doesn't it, Andrew? I'm not a stupid McStupid Pants. My name is Andrew and I'm a super smart. What did I tell you about having self-confidence, Andrew? Oh my god, what did she tell him? That I don't deserve it and I'll never amount to anything because I'm ugly and I have a bad case of the herpaderps, Grandma? Oh! This poor child! Who told this baby this? His face, too! Well, your words, not mine. What? What did you tell this poor baby? Grandpa, can we hear the story already? Oh, I suppose so, Emma. Yay! I can't wait to hear this terrible tale. Be careful what you wish for, Emma. You just might get it. Well, duh. That's what we've been wanting for 10 minutes now. We always assume your stories are going to be terrible, Grandpa. They're always terrible. Oh, ouch. Fair point. Why don't you tell them that terrible tale that taught you that one moral lesson thingamajigger? Yeah, Grandpa. The one with the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, why, of course. That tale. The one with the thing. I still don't know what y'all are talking about. Now, what thing was that again? I could have sworn there was a thing I had in mind. Ooh. I have a belly button, Grandpa! Where did that come from? What? Ah! That random dumbass comment you just made helped spark an idea for a tale, Andrew. This is the tale of... Tale of what, Grandpa? He doesn't remember, Emma. Get off his back.
Yeah.
Of course I remember, you little shit. But, yeah, Emma, get off my nuts. I said back, Grandpa. Whatever. Anyways, this is the tale of something... I'll make it up as I go along, and you'll sit here and listen to whatever, whether you like it or not. You got it, Grandpa. Oh my god. This is amazing. So it all started with an old lady being pushed around and bullied by a couple of dickheads who had nothing better to do than pick on some old broad. Leave me alone. I don't want any trouble. Now, when I say some old broad, I meant a young woman who just happens to be a nun. Hey! You stay away from our fine establishment. Mr. Fister, Jesus. Yeah, we better not see you hanging around our village practicing that mumbo-jumbo witchcraft of yours. She's a nun. She's like the opposite of witchcraft. We don't take kindly to you worshipping that god. Stay in the forest where you belong, animal. What? Or else. All I did was bless someone when they sneezed, and I haven't even lived in your village for over 10 years. Well, just reminding you. Yeah, just a reminder, nun lady. Oh, whenever will they leave me alone? Those guys are total douche nozzles, but what do you expect from two guys named Mr. Fister and Styles Davis? We'll come back to that part of the story later. For now, let's focus on this little fairy fuck here. Some old cunt! Oh, the name! You shouldn't be here, little fairy. Oh dear, that doesn't sound good. When I get my hands on you, I'm going to chop you into tiny pieces and gnaw the meat off your bones. Well, I think that's my cue to leave. Run, run, little fairy. Run, run. Oh, we're the fairy! Bro, we're the fairy! Your face. It looks so soft. Well, yeah, of course. I want to pet it inside of my tummy. Oh, Jesus! Oh, dear. I need to get out of here. Well, that guy was creepy. Let's continue on with the rest of the story, shall we? Mary the fairy was visiting the graveyard one day in search of food. Looking for food in a graveyard, Grandpa? Oh yes, fairies eat human flesh, don't you know? Wow! I didn't know that, Grandpa! That's scary! Fairies are very weak, however, so they typically go to graveyards to feast on the flesh of those already dead. So anyways, this little fairy, Mary, as stated previously, was on her way to get some food. Mary had some mega munchies, as she was up all night 420 blazing it like a G. I want to be a G, Grandpa! You'll never be a G, Andrew. Hey. I can be a G if I want, Grandpa. I can be whatever I want to be. I just have to believe really hard. Andrew, you can't tie your shoes, you shit your pants at least 8 times a day, and you cry whenever you hear birds chirping outside of your window in the mornings. Their chirpy chirps, tweet tweet songs are just so beautiful. Oh, this poor baby. You are the furthest thing from a G that anyone has ever been, period. Richard Simmons is more of a G than you. Ooh. Ooh, I like him. He's my favorite. That little girl down the street in the wheelchair is more of a G than you. Hey. Hey, well duh. She can do drive-bys, Grandpa. That's an unfair advantage. I just have these shitty legs. Step into my office, Andrew. We can clear up this leg issue you're having. I'm not playing doctor with you again, Emma. You tried to cut my kidney out last time. Oh, Emma's fucked up. Correct. infection. I tried to cut your liver out, Andrew. I did cut your kidney out. Oh, but Jesus, this isn't good. Don't worry, Andrew. I have a 100% success rate when operating on my patients. All of your patients have died, Emma. Exactly. When did my grandchildren become little psychopaths? These kids are absolutely psychotic. What is a G? I think a G is the equivalent of a boss. So like saying like a boss. I think a G is the equivalent of that. I don't know, I'm old. I didn't keep up with everything growing up, so I'm behind a little on times too. Alright, so we've covered that the kids are completely psychotic. When they popped out of their mother's vagina, Richard. Anyways, food for the fairy. I'm quite famished. I need some nom-noms. I wonder where my fairy friends are. Oh my gosh, I get to be the fairy! Jeremy Dye. Well, hello there, little fairy. Hello. Hello to you, sir. How are you doing on this fine day? I'm doing well, thank you. You seem much nicer than that mean old man inside. Oh? How so? Ooh. He threatened to cut me into tiny pieces and eat me. Oh. That's just some old cunt trying to scare you. Don't worry about him. Well, he was quite rude. He's one some might call a meanie face? Precisely, a meanie face. Well, thanks for talking to me, mister. I should really be on my way now. You take care now, little fairy. And with that, Mary the fairy went on her way. Yay! Just as you reach your hand out to touch the butterfly, it disappears with a flash of light. Oh. Huh? What's this? Where the butterfly last was sits a crystal on the ground. Ooh, a crystal! What kind of crystal, Grandpa? It was a lore fragment crystal, Emma. What's a lore fragment crystal? We'll find out later. Possibly. Depends. Huh? Depends on what? Right now, it depends on whether you shut up so we can continue the damn story. Mary obtains a lore fragment! Yay! So we got a piece of lore. Off to the graveyard to eat people. So how do I check to... Chiseled upon the headstone over an empty grave reads the name Brandy Blythe. Over an empty grave. Huh. Okay, so I'm gonna guess I'm supposed to go to this grave that is not empty. Jeff Hanneman, you will be missed. What am I supposed to do? Randy Rhodes. Oh no! Oh, this game is so... they actually talk about actual people that have passed, and it kind of... It's sad to read. Lane Staley, you will be missed. Boopsy the Fairy. Oh! Boopsy. Nice. Nice name. Chiseled on the headstone, David Draymond. Now I'm kind of curious what's over these headstones. Jonathan Davis. Corey Taylor. Oh. Well, yeah, you're ignoring me. Y'all are staring at gravestones. Jerry Cantrell. Aaron Lewis. Chris Adler. Willie Adler. John Campbell. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Right? I'm kind of expecting them to be eating something. Level of affection. Right? He loves these kids so much. He's just absolutely something else.
There you are. I've been looking all over for you, Bunch.
Slipnips. Nice name.
Well, what took you so long? You missed out on dinner. Huh. Missed out on dinner? You couldn't have saved me some? You snooze, you lose, Mary. Maybe next time you won't be such a slowpoke. I don't think there should be a next time.
What do you mean?
I mean, maybe we should get rid of you. Yeah, I kind of agree. But Sprinkletit.
Sprinkletit? You're my best friend.
We can still be friends. Just without ever seeing each other. Or talking. Or being friends.
What? Wow, alright.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. The fairies have spoken. Mary the fairy is no longer welcome among us. You are banished forever. Fine. I don't need you. I don't need any of you. I'll be just fine on my own. Toodles, bitch.
And with that, Mary set out in search of a new life, all on her own.
Wow. Fairies are such assholes, Grandpa.
They sure are, Emma.
Would you like to save the game?
Of course.
What do you think?
File 3? We'll see if we actually get to stay on 3.
Well, now what do we do? Vanished forever. Uh-oh. Sadness. Let's see. What's back here?
It reads... Rip Vincent Paul Abbott. His drumming was a vulgar display of power unmatched by mortal men. Rip Dimebag Daryl Abbott, a cowboy from hell that shreds in heaven, a legend among men. Now see, I like these because these are a little more descriptive. It's kind of neat. Chris Cornell, may his son never be outshined. Chester Bennington, his light will shine on forever, never to go out in our hearts. Malcolm Young. After taking the highway to hell and besting the beast in a battle of strings, he's back in black, shredding in heaven. Oh! Now see, some of this hurts because some of these are people that I actually liked the music a lot. Randy Rhoads, Malcolm Young especially, I was very familiar with that music. Their music. It hurts. So what's this one? Freddie Mercury. He was the champion, my friends. He kept on fighting till the end. David Bowie. No one could make magic dance quite like this man. Tom Petty. He stood his ground and he never backed down. Kurt Cobain. He came as he was, as you were, and as you wanted him to be. Jimi Hendrix. Excuse him while he kisses the sky. Let me kill Mister. If you like to gamble, I tell you he's your man. Win some, lose some, it's all the same to him. The only card he needs is the Ace of Spades. Oh! Oh, the Ace of Spades. That was a good one. Jim Morrison. He was the Lizard King. He could do anything. Oh, this is so cool. That's a nifty little Easter egg if you know anything about music. Or rock music, mostly. Some old cunt shop. You can say that again. Alright, now we're leaving. I guess this is it. All on my own now. I suppose I should look around for some food. Hello, little fairy. All alone, are we? I don't want any trouble. Why, of course you don't. But Reefer isn't here to cause you any trouble. No, Reefer is your friend. Oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad to meet a new friend. Reefer can sense your heartache and turmoil. Life got you down, little fairy? You guessed it. Life sure has been hard lately. Well, sit back and relax and let Reefer take care of you. It was then that this mysterious creature called Reefer began shoving handfuls of mushrooms into Mary's mouth, force-feeding her more than she could handle. Wow, she's lucky. I love mushrooms. Not those kind of mushrooms, Andrew. These weren't your typical mushrooms, Andrew. These were magical mushrooms. I know that, Grandpa. I ate a bunch from your dresser drawer and got higher than a motherfucker. Oh no. Dear God. Is that where all of my mushrooms went? I thought I'd eaten an entire bag of them and forgotten. Nope, that was all me. Am I a gangster yet, Grandpa? Oh, a G is like a gangster. Oh. Well, I feel dumb. You're a goddamn monster is what you are, Andrew. Eating all my mushrooms like that. Anyways... Reefer had just finished shoving all those mushrooms down Mary's throat, and as she ingested them, she began to see funny colors and hallucinate. Of course. Oh! Whoa! Feel better, little fairy? Totally. Well then, my job here is done. If you ever need more, you know who to call. Wait, I do? I'm pretty sure I don't know how to get a hold of him if I need more. I totally forgot to give you my business card. That's my bad. Apparently I'm out of business cards. embarrassing.
It's okay. I'll just yell really loud until you come find me.
That's not really how it works, but we'll just go with it. Maybe I'll be in the area that day, who knows?
I sure don't.
Yeah. Well, goodbye. There he goes. And with that, the creature was gone just as quickly as he had come.
Well, I'm not hungry or sad anymore. I guess I should be on my way to search for a new place to call home.
So Mary set off into the treacherous beyond in hopes of finding her new life. The dragon lets out a giant roar, warning you to back off.
I should probably leave it alone.
Okay. So I guess I go back the way I came? Oh, man! Jeez. I wish I had known this was going to happen. I would have put some kind of flash warning in here. Because this is definitely going to cause problems if you have any kind of epilepsy or history of seizures. I did not know about this, and the game did not warn me as far as I'm aware. Yikes. Okay, so, I guess we are high as a kite now? Ugh. Yikes. Okay, so that's a monster over there. That's a dragon over there. Maybe I can shimmy past this guy? Oh. He's not gonna let me shimmy past him. Bro, you're taking up the whole road. Got another lore fragment. And in the process, teleported? Oh, okay. We are back. Oh, lore fragment. Nice. We got another lore fragment. Oh. It wasn't long before Mary had come to a path in the woods leading south.
I wonder what's down here. I love adventures.
With much excitement, Mary continued on with her new journey with uncertainty, but plenty of faith and spirit. Wow. Birds will break down into more fragments. Or if it's just butterflies. Oh, it's just butterflies. Okay. So I see a lore fragment over here. Okay, there's that. Random rocky area. Oh, we can climb the vine. That's cute. It's very nifty. Vaticus Maximus. Whoa. Where do you think you're going?
I'm not quite sure. I suppose into that cave behind you there.
I don't think so. A little fairy like you will get smushed in that cave.
Smushed? But why?
Well, because the Cyclops lives in there.
A Cyclops?
Holy crap.
A Cyclops? I've never encountered one of those before.
Fierce creatures they are. You know, I seen one once.
Wow, really? You've seen one?
I did. But he had 2 eyes. That's not a Cyclops.
Wait, 2 eyes?
That's right.
So, wouldn't that just be a person?
Yes, it would. That is a person. Maybe. But I don't think so. Maybe it was a Biclops. So, a Biclops. As in a humanoid creature with 2 eyes. But not a person. Oh. My God. It was just a person. I guess that's why he kept yelling, "No, wait, don't run away from me, I'm just a person." It all makes so much more sense now.
So, there's not a Cyclops in that cave then, is there?
Oh, no. There's definitely a Cyclops in that cave. He'll eat you up and shit you out, and then eat you up again. Cyclops are dirty, disgusting creatures.
Well, I'm not afraid. I want to go in there and see what I'm made of. Mary the Fairy doesn't back down from anything.
If you insist, I suppose I'll let you through. But don't say I didn't warn you. Despite the fat guard's warnings, Mary thought for some reason it'd be a good idea to venture into the cave with a potential Cyclops or Biclops or person.
Would you like to save? Of course.
If you insist on continuing on, please take this torch with you.
Aw, how sweet of you.
I don't glow as a fairy, apparently.
Thank you. This will definitely come in handy.
Okay. So we got a wall there and a wall there. So we can just continue forward. What? Oh. Is it like this? There we go. Okay. Deeper somewhere. As Mary descended into the cave, she felt a cold chill run over her entire body.
Phew, it sure is cold. My nipples are so hard they could double as a quick shiv in prison.
She decided to continue further into the cave, as there was really no point in going back the way she had come. After all, that's not really how stories work, is it?
I'm excited to meet this Cyclops thing. I hope he's friendly. Mary doesn't want to have to choke a bitch today.
Is Mary capable of choking a bitch? Oh my god. Oh god, that scared me. Mary ventured on until she came upon a Raggedy Ann on meth-looking motherfucker standing there in the center of the cave.
What's meth, Grandpa?
Meth Grandpa is my DJ name at the club on Tuesdays and Saturdays, Emma. Now back to the story.
Who are you?
Oh my god! She does look like a Raggedy Ann doll on meth. What the heck? Who am I? Who are you?
I'm Mary. You look funny.
That's not something you typically say to strangers.
Actually, I do.
Well, Mary, keep your voice down. There's a Cyclops sleeping around the corner, and we don't want to wake him up unless we have a way to kill him.
Kill him? But why would we go and do something like that?
Because if he were awake and alert, he'd chew us up into fine paste, spit us out into the palm of his hand, and use us as lubricant to pleasure himself.
Oh. So, how do we kill him?
Now you're talking my language. I'm Gothica, a treasure hunter. I came into this cave because I heard there's a hidden artifact in here somewhere. It holds great power within it, so if we can manage to drag it up, we can use it to turn that Cyclops inside out.
That sounds like fun. So, where should we start digging?
Your guess is as good as mine. I've been digging for hours and have had no luck. Why don't you go ahead and see if you can dig anything up? I'm sure you can use some sort of fairy magic or something to help you.
Fairy magic? I wish! This is a job for some nimble little fingers sifting through hard dirt.
So with haste, Mary searched around the cave for potential digging spots to try and find this ancient artifact that the crazy lady told her about.
Got another lore fragment! Yay!
Wonder what these are for. Let's see.
Oh! I wonder what's hidden under here. This looks like a good spot to dig. Oh! It's just an old chicken bone. I don't want that.
Nothing. Oh, I'm up above things. A loud, monstrous snoring can be heard up ahead.
I shouldn't go ahead until I find what I'm looking for.
Okay, so we've got this entire area to work with. That's cool.
Oh, this has got to be a good spot to dig. I can feel it. I was wrong. It's empty.
Poor Mary.
This better be the right spot. I just got my nails done. Success!
A scroll of face melting. Ooh.
This should do just fine against the Cyclops. I should go show Gothica.
Is there anything else in this cave? Let's see. How... Okay, so that's how we get to the other side of that. There's not anything here. Go this way.
Oh, a spot to dig. I hope I get something good from this. Oh, it's just a smelly old boot. I got over my foot fetish years ago. This won't do me any good.
What? Okay. Wow. Huh.
Oh, this spot looks promising. I wonder what's hidden here under the dirt. Oh, it's just a small human. Yay, you found me. I don't have any use for this. Guess I'll cover it back up.
Wait, don't. That is the reaction from somebody who doesn't want a child. Just, oh, I have no need for that. That should do the trick. Now we're just gonna leave this poor small child back where we left it. Oh my god. You did it! You found the artifact! That's exactly what we've been looking for.
So, what do I do now?
Now, you go find that big, fat, smelly Cyclops and use the scroll to destroy him.
Really? It's that simple?
Probably not. But good luck. So Mary set off to slay the Cyclops all on her own. I'm going to do it all by myself? Wow, Mary, you're a badass. Good lord. Ugh, that's a Cyclops. I spy with my one eye a little fairy.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, mister.
What are you doing in my cave, little fairy?
Ooh. Oh, I'm just passing through. Ordinarily, I'd just try to sneak by a big, scary creature like you, but my friend Gothica told me I had to kill you, so here it goes.
Kill me? What? Mary the fairy pulled the scroll of face melting she had found earlier from her pouch, reading whatever gibberish was written upon it until it started to glow in her hands. And just then, Mary unleashed a violent spell from the scroll that turned the Cyclops into a big pile of mashed potatoes. Ooh! Whoa.
Wow, that was awesome!
Mary was so pleased with the magic power in the scroll that she decided to put it away for later use.
This thing is great. I love mashed potatoes.
Ooh!
I also love mashed potatoes.
Who doesn't love mashed potatoes, Andrew? Actually, my brother really didn't like them.
Hey!
Mashed potatoes and pussy are the only two things I can eat at this age. Oh! Then maybe I should stop making you mashed potatoes for dinner every night. You must be getting too full. Well, anyways, Mary the fairy started to move on from the cave, thus progressing the story and ending this conversation. Yes, I'd love to save my... Yes. The pile is still warm to the touch. That is disturbing.
I should probably let Gothica know that the Cyclops is dead.
Oh. So I have to go let her know even though she was too much of a coward to even come with me. What the fuck? I ought to just let her hang out in here and think that it's still alive and that I got eaten. Wow, I can't believe you did it. I heard the screams all the way over here. You really are amazing, little fairy.
I know. Bye. I guess I should probably be on my way, though. It was nice meeting you, Gothica.
And you as well, little fairy. Safe travels to you. So Mary ventured onward, making haste in a very linear direction with no other potential forks or outcomes. Yeah, I am noticing that this is a lot more... This is very linear. I don't mind, though. It's a fun story. Oh no, there was a deviation. There we go. The exit to somewhere else. Upon climbing up the rocky steps of the cave, Mary noticed a light emanating from what appeared to be an exit in the wall.
Ooh, I see light. This is a good sign. Onward we go, fairy wings.
No. No? Nope, there's literally nowhere else to go. Okay.
It's so bright out here. I'm happy to be out of that dark, smelly cave.
What is this place? Warning, Cyclops ahead. Barry pulls out a thick black marker and writes on the sign.
Much better.
The sign now reads, Warning, mashed potatoes ahead. Wow. She's so... Oh my god, this is great.
And we got another butterfly.
What's this? Looks like it could be something, but I guess it's not. The unholy treehouse? Is that what it said? Yeah, the unholy treehouse. Well, hello there, little fairy. I am Shroomer the Shroomling. Ooh! Mary came upon a shroomling.
She found a magical mushroom in the forest, Grandpa.
No, I mean, she came upon a shroomling.
Oh!
Ooh. Hey, what the hell are you doing to me? Ooh. This poor child is traumatized. Just her face. Hey, knock that off.
Sorry. The sight of mushrooms really gets me going.
That is just uncalled for. Be gone with you, little fairy.
Please forgive me. I didn't mean any harm.
I am so very distraught right now. You've managed to ruin my perfectly fine day.
I would like to make it up to you if you'll let me.
I would feel much better after a nice nap. My mother used to play me lovely ballads to help soothe me to sleep.
I will find a way. You can count on me.
So then Mary the fairy wandered off to figure out how she was going to make things up to Mr. Mushroom.
Hey, I don't remember those mushrooms being there before. I should probably go check it out.
Shroomfield. Hello there. I see you're having some troubles trying to pass Shroomer there.
Yes, I may have done something to upset him. But he said that if he heard a nice song, it might make it up to him.
Well, it just so happens that I'm traveling with my musical mushrooms troupe.
Wow, really? What do you call yourselves?
Mushroomica!
Oh, yeah! Okay, well, could you maybe teach me a song to play for Shroomer?
Yes, we are having a bit of a dry spell right now, and we haven't been able to book any shows lately, so we've got plenty of time to spare to help out a little fairy in need.
That's wonderful, Shroomfield.
Not a problem. Lucky for you, we don't have any use for money, so this lesson is on the house.
All right, what do you need me to do?
Well, it just so happens that my shrooms here are a bit stiff. They're in dire need of a nice lubing up, if you know what I mean. So, what do you say?
Absolutely.
Well, are you ready to start now? Yes? I think? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my god. It doesn't look like Shroomer is quite yet asleep. How about we play a little more? Okay. Are you ready to start round 2?
Yes.
It's just as Simon says. It's not so bad. Red, purple, blue. Oh, they went in order. That's easy. That was brilliant. Take it away, Shrooms.
It looks like he's fast asleep now. Here's my chance to clear the path.
Mary grabbed onto Shroomer and started pulling him out of the way.
One last time won't hurt.
Oh no! Mary!
Alright, now let's see where that path leads to.
Mary! All of a sudden, Mary heard a scream coming from the north.
I wonder what that was. It sounded like someone could use my help.
Would you like to save the game?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and now we're to the part with the nun being harassed. Okay, so that's it. Alright, enough is enough. You've been alive for far too long. It's time to die.
Hey, leave her alone.
Stay out of this, little fairy. Prepare to feel the wrath of Mr. Fister.
Please, no.
It was at this point in time the little fairy had a choice to make.
What choice was that, Grandpa?
Mary had to choose whether or not to help the sister. Help the sister. Since Mary was good of heart, she decided to step in. Mary pulled out the scroll of face melting, and at the same time, the lore fragment crystal she had been collecting started to glow. A flash of light suddenly erupted from the crystals, and the scroll of face melting began to glow bright. The lore fragment crystals had granted the scroll of face melting enough power to wipe out both of the baddies. That's what they're for. Well, anybody want some mashed potatoes? Ah, what did you do to us? You melted our faces and our bodies. Well, this really fucking sucks, Mr. Fister. It sure does, Styles.
Yay, I got him! Get wrecked, baddies!
Thank you, little fairy. I am in your debt for saving my life. Please follow me inside so I can make you some food. I bet you're starved after all that fighting.
Why, I would love to.
Thank you for rescuing me from those hooligans.
No problem, sister. I love helping others.
Alright, now how about that food? Would you be a dear and grab some of my spices from the shelf in the back?
Okay, you got it. I don't seem to see any here.
Did you maybe put them somewhere else? No, it's definitely back there. Just keep looking. Mary the fairy continued to look on the shelves, although there were no spices to be found. Oh no! I think I see it in the far back, Mary. As Mary turned to check the far shelf, she was smacked in the back of the head. I'm sorry it had to come to this, Mary. Actually, who am I kidding? Fairy stew is my favorite. So little Mary the fairy was killed and then subsequently eaten by the sister. See, kids, if you don't know both sides of the story, you probably shouldn't get involved. Even if someone seems like they might be a good person, they might actually be the ones deserving of a beatdown. You just never truly know. Which means you probably shouldn't follow your dreams as a hero, Andrew, since you have terrible judgment to begin with. Oh, okay then, Grandpa. You shouldn't crush the boy's dreams, Richard. Thanks for the support, Grandma. He's perfectly capable of figuring out that he'll never be good enough on his own. Oh. Think we just saw that kid die twice. Grandpa, I have to be honest. That story fucking blew dogs for quarters. Hey, now that I think about it, that story did kind of suck. Well, they can't all be winners, kids. Moral of the story, life isn't fair. And also, fuck you. You think I'm happy that you two little shits share my DNA? No, but that's life. Shit happens and then you die. I don't want to die, Grandpa. Well, you're gonna. I don't want to die either, Grandpa. Well, you're gonna die too, Emma. I'm gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, and she's gonna die. We're all gonna die, none of you're safe. God damn it, Richard. Take your medicine. I would, but the liquor store is closed on Sundays. And to think I was dumb enough to marry this old shriveled ball sack of a man. What was that, dear? Nothing, honey. Go to sleep. Did he really just fall asleep right there? Already ahead of you. What? This was just one of 3 possible endings. It's highly recommended that you try to unlock the other endings and potential Easter egg events hidden throughout the game to get the full experience that this tale has to offer. But this concludes Old Man Quiver's terrible tale for terrible parents to read to their equally terrible children. You were warned. See you next time. The ending was so bad. I love this. Okay, so we're gonna sit through this. We're gonna sit through this, and then I think we're gonna reload the save. And after we reload the save, we're gonna try to get a different ending. I think the first different ending is at the part where you have to choose whether to help the sister or not. So we're gonna try not helping her and seeing what happens after that. Oh hey, there's more to it.
So, I'm totally still awake. Yeah, same here. This seriously sucks. Shut your damn mouths and go to sleep.
This grandma. Wow. Okay. So we're gonna continue. Load this. Yes, we're gonna load that save file. Okay, we come out right here. Okay, we get to find out what happens from here. And we've already been through all this. And now we don't get involved. Oh. I hit the wrong button. Oh no. Well, we're just gonna fast forward all this and we're gonna go back and do it again. Man, I wish there was a way to speed this up. Oh, wait, actually, maybe... Nah, there's not really a way to... caught up. Don't follow your dreams, Andrew. I just love how traumatized these poor children are by the end of this story. Like, what the fuck? I will admit, though, I kind of liked Quiver Dick a little more than this, but I also haven't found out the other endings, so I can't really judge too much yet. Poor Andrew. This again real quick. Would have been nice if there'd been some sort of way to speed it up, but there's not. Oh well, it's alright. It's not hurting anybody. Alright. Now we're definitely going to hit the right one. Admittedly, her house does look slightly sinister. Don't get involved. See what happens. Mary decided to step back and stay out of the way. I mean, these guys were kind of scary, and she's just a little old fairy.
Yeah. Just keep doing what you're doing, fam.
No one's coming to help you. Prepare to feel the wrath of Mr. Fister. I'll never let you get away with this. Sister Whitstead started to glow, chanting inaudible words. Not so fast. Mr. Fister and Styles Davis quickly jumped on the sister and gave her a gloriously murderous beating. Oh boy. Ah! I've been wrecked! I've been wrecked. Take that. And with that, Sister Whitstead was beaten to the consistency of mashed potatoes. What is with this idea of mashed potatoes? She looks like a rock, though. Thank you, Fairy, for staying out of the way. Yeah, we were able to stop her before she could do any more damage.
So, what now?
Nothing for us. We're headed home. Thanks again, Fairy. Yeah, see ya. Okay. With the sister dead and gone, Mary the Fairy made herself comfortable in the nun's old home.
I guess some things do work out in the end. This is quite the lovely little tree house.
Mary was never going to go hungry again with the forest nearby. She really did have it all. But unfortunately, her time was limited as she had gotten AIDS from those mushrooms she found earlier.
You can get AIDS from mushrooms?
Apparently you can. Who knew, right? I'm surprised I'm still alive, personally. I've done my fair share of experimenting, let me tell you.
So, she died then, Grandpa?
Yeah, but it took a really long time. So life was pretty sweet for a while, at least. So little Mary the Fairy lived happily ever after in her new treehouse. Well, you know, until the AIDS kicked into full effect. See, kids, even when everything seems like it can't get any worse, you end up in a better place than where you began. Which means there's still hope for you one day too, Andrew.
Thanks, Grandpa.
You shouldn't lie to the boy, Richard. Excuse me.
Grandpa, I have to be honest. That story fucking blew dogs for quarters.
Hey, now that I think about it, that story did kind of suck. Well, they can't all be winners, kids. Moral of the story, life isn't fair. And also, fuck you. You think I'm happy that you two little shits share my DNA? No, that's life. Shit happens and then you die. I don't want to die, Grandpa. Well, you're gonna.
I don't want to die either, Grandpa.
Well, you're gonna die too, Emma. I'm gonna die, you're gonna die, and she's gonna die. We're all gonna die, none of you are safe.
God damn it, Richard, take your medicine.
I would, but the liquor store is closed on Sundays.
And to think I was dumb enough to marry this old shriveled ball sack of a man.
What was that, dear?
Nothing, honey. Go to sleep.
Already ahead of you. This was just one of 3 possible endings. I'm not sure where the third ending is. Huh. Unfortunately, it is a pretty small DLC. I'm kind of sad about that. But I can't be mad because I only paid 69 cents for it. Which is actually a pretty good price for what you get here. It was a good story. It was a good game. I'm alright with it. Alright. And on that note, I need to decide what is another good game to play. I shall be right back in just a moment, guys.